So today we're going to be hearing from Ricardo Jacquez, one of our candidates for the engineering dean. Ricardo was born at a very young age. He got his bachelor's and master's degree in civil engineering right here at NMSU. He went to Virginia Tech where he got his PhD in civil engineering also. He served on the faculty at University of Missouri-Rolla. He joined NMSU in 1981. He is currently a professor in the College of Engineering in the Civil Engineering Department. He is the director of AMP. He has served as the interim department head of the Civil Engineering Department, and right now he is the interim associate provost. So we thank you, Ricardo, for being here and for your comments here today.
All right, well, Dr. White gave you a little bit of my background, and I just want to add that all of the things that he's talked about, I basically have been involved in here at New Mexico State University. I've been at NMSU a total of 35 years, 7 of which were spent as a student, bachelor's degree, master's degree, back in the 60s and early 70s. And then I came back in 81 as an associate professor, and I have been here ever since. So that's 28 years. So I've been here a long time. I don't think I've been here too long. I have enjoyed pretty much every day that I have been here at NMSU. There are days that I say, why am I doing this? But the majority of the time, I am fully engaged. I am active in decision making and doing things that I hope, at least I believe, are good for the College of Engineering and are good for the university. With the exception of the last 6 months, all of my time has been spent in serving the College of Engineering. So it's only been recently that I have moved up to the office of the provost and taken a role there. So I think I have a good breadth and depth of experience and exposure. I believe that it's very extensive, and I think that is something that will be a benefit to me as the Dean of the College of Engineering. I told the group this morning that with that experience, that extensive experience and exposure, I think I essentially can hit the ground running in terms of becoming the Dean. Yes, there is a transition, but I know a lot of the players within the college, first, within the university, outside. I have been associated with colleges, community colleges, and universities across the state for the last 15 years. First of all, through the work program, and then secondly, through the AMP program. I have had meetings with faculty and administrators at each one of those campuses for some reason or another. I think I have the ability to pick up the phone and call someone and say, we as the College of Engineering are thinking about doing something. We'd like to work with you. We'd like for you to be a partner. Here's the idea. Can you help me to make the right contact within the institution? I think I can do that. In any of the colleges or universities. I've had fairly extensive experience with the New Mexico legislature. First of all, the AMP program receives funding through there, through that entity. And so I've been before committees. I have worked with the legislators, especially with the local legislators, Cynthia Nava, Andy Nunez, Mary Kay Papin. I told the group this morning that one of the practices of the New Mexico AMP program is for the annual student conference is to invite a legislator or somebody from the governor's office to come and be a speaker. And we do that so that, because they are essentially one of the sponsors, we want them to know what is the AMP program about, what is it doing, how does it work, who is it serving. We also want the students to know that the state of New Mexico supports them as well, as a current major in a college or university or as an aspiring high school student. I've been to congressional offices. I've interacted with staff people, with the senators or the representatives themselves. Rudy and I have often traveled to Washington to try and conduct business. I'm well aware of how the process works, to work with the is it Lewis and Burke? Is that the name of the firm? To work with Lewis and Burke to make the appointments and explain why, what it is that we want to try and accomplish, and then work with them to try and make things happen. It doesn't always work out, but you have to try. If you don't send ships out that are empty, they can't come back full of gold. Right? So you've got to send the ships out. And so that's part of the job of the dean of the college, especially in engineering, is to go out and create opportunities like that, or work to try and create those opportunities. I think I have a strong relationship with the National Science Foundation, which is one of the agencies that any college of engineering wants to be closely affiliated with, because they are the source of the funds for research and other major programs. And as NMSU, as the College of Engineering, we have a good history of receiving funds from the National Science Foundation. We can do better. I have a lot of experience in interacting with program officers, understanding what the foundation wants, and through our Dean's Advisory Council, there is a member who is well placed within the National Science Foundation. So I have that experience. I think that would be very valuable to the College of Engineering. And as a recipient of the Paisman Award, as they call it, the mentoring award that Ken referred to, that's a national recognition. And those kinds of recognitions help to open doors. And many times that's the start, is you need to have a door open. And once the door is open, then you can go in and show, okay, so this is who we are, this is what we can do, this is what we want to do for you, and here's how we need your help to accomplish that. So I think I have the basic skills through those experiences to do those kinds of things. I characterize myself as collaborative, a team builder. I make decisions on the basis of evidence. I'm not afraid to make hard decisions that might be controversial. I think I have the rhetorical skills to make a persuasive argument on the basis of facts and information. I've stood before many committees and made a case for why they should continue to support us. I did that when the AMP program was funded. It was a pressure cooker. I did that when the CTEP program was funded, the Collaborative for Excellence in Teacher Preparation. In those days, you sent your proposal, and then NSF reviewed it, and if they liked it, they would call you to present it and defend it and stand for questions. And so I've done that on two different occasions for two major programs. Both are pretty major events. I think I know how to set priorities, and in today's environment, priorities are going to be important. What is it that is most important, can be most valuable to the college, to the institution, and why? In a time of less resources, you may not be able to keep everything going, and so a decision has to be made about how to keep something going, and that's going to be done by priorities. I like to work from an action-driven agenda. I believe in having discussion. I also believe in having a purpose for discussion and an outcome that we are going to do something, accomplish something, and people should have tasks to do, and there should be outcomes that should be measured. Our strategic plan is basically set up that way. It is action-driven. We have goals and objectives, and for each one of those goals and objectives, We have something that we say we are going to do this. We're not just going to track it. You can set up a tracking system, but if you don't do something to influence that measure, nothing's going to happen. So you have to have actions that are going to move things forward. And when they don't move forward, you need to step back and say why. And if it's the wrong thing, then you quit doing it. If it's the right thing, then you move ahead. Or if you find a way to adjust it, then you move it forward. I also believe that one of my skills is to be an effective communicator. I believe in transparency. I believe in informing people. I believe in making sure that we're all on the same page as much as possible. And in order to be on the same page, we have to work together. We must work together as faculty, staff. Some student input is important. Department heads, we have to work as a community. The College of Engineering is a community, but I believe that it can be a stronger community. And I would build that community around research and teaching and learning. That's the fundamental mission of the college, right? And so if we can, within the college, build a stronger community, I think we can see a lot of positive things happen from that. I believe that the fundamental business of the college is people. It is the development of people. That's why we're here. Students come to us with a dream. They want to be an engineer. It is our responsibility to help them fulfill that dream. And I think we do that today. I'm not saying that we're not doing that, but we need to keep doing that. And if there are ways to do that better, then we need to do that. Faculty come to us with their dreams. They've already been a student. Their dreams are to become productive in research, to be an effective teacher, to make a difference within their community, their department, and then the larger community of the college. I think we have the responsibility to help them fulfill that dream. New faculty need development. I told Dr. White and Dr. Moorhead this morning that I characterize, especially engineering faculty, as very entrepreneurial. We are about creating our own opportunities, but we don't always know how to do that. We come fresh out of graduate school. Somebody helped us to figure out what the dissertation topic was. Someone helped us to figure out, is it good or bad? Is it right or wrong? And so there's been a lot of guidance up to that point. And then all of a sudden, the string is cut and somebody says, go forth and go do good things. You can't just turn a person loose. You have to have somebody there that helps them. We have seven new assistant professors in the College of Engineering. 1 a year ago, Brad Weldon, and 6 this year in mechanical, chemical, electrical, and engineering technology. In looking at one of our competitors, the University of New Mexico, what I discovered is that they have 5 NSF Career Awards in place right now. That's a lot. That's a lot. I guarantee that those faculty didn't just sit down and say, I'm going to write a proposal and I'm going to submit it. Maybe it started there, but to get 5, somebody helped. Somebody helped. And that's what we do. That's what a community does. It helps. It helps everyone in some way. And so the mentoring, the guidance, the development, having those people, maybe to begin with, to work as a community of themselves, that's important. We want them to succeed. All right? So our promise to them is we will help you to be successful. We have faculty who are doing a great job in their research, in their grantsmanship, teaching, education, and so forth. We also have faculty who have become disengaged. And we need to find a way to re-engage them. And some of them are very re-engageable, I believe, because they came here with that dream. It's very difficult to just totally lose sight of that and not be able to go back. Yes, I'm optimistic. I am optimistic. But I believe if you do the right things for people, they will respond. So, and I have the same feelings about staff. A department, a college, does not function the way that it should without staff. Staff need opportunities. They need to be developed. They need something that is going to help them to grow. Right? We all have a common goal, I believe, and that is to do a good job. Sometimes people are evaluated as, you're not doing a good job. Well, why? And then what is it that we need to do to change that to help them to do a good job? That process is in place, and so I think as a college we can make some good progress in those areas. I think I said this earlier, that one of my beliefs is that we need to function as a research and teaching and learning community. I believe that it is the role of the dean, first of all, to get that started, to work with the deans of the college, to work with the department heads, and to work with the faculty to get that moving. It takes a lot of discussion and conversation with an action-driven agenda to say, what is it that we need to do, what are we going to do to try and change this. And those people are the people that are the ones that can make that happen. So I believe in talking with people, taking input, starting with the fundamental idea. I'm trying to convey some of those fundamental ideas to you right now, but ultimately, I don't think it's the dean that makes a decision on his or her own conditions. It takes input from a lot of people. And so all of that has to be rolled up and put all those cards on the table and then decide, this is the best thing for the College of Engineering. This is what we need to do to move ourselves ahead. I have some ideas about education, about research, and challenges. And there are a lot of challenges. I believe that the way to address the challenges, and they have to be addressed, you can't ignore them, is first of all you have to understand what the challenge is. And that's the upper administration that has to communicate that. I think that the dean's responsibility is, once he or she understands that, is to inform the deans, the department heads, and the faculty about, this is the challenge that we are facing. We need to respond to this challenge. We need to develop alternatives. We need to take a good look at ourselves and figure out what it is that we need to do to be able to respond. I think it's also the responsibility of the dean, when necessary, to build alliances with other colleges in the university. It's typically, the problems are not just the problems of the College of Engineering. They are the problems of New Mexico State University that the colleges have to deal with. And so we need to work together in some cases to address that. Once that's done, then there has to be a proposal presented, some kind of negotiation with the president, the provost, then possibly the president. And so if you do that, you do your best to try and deal with the challenge and make sure that your understanding, your input to addressing the challenge is heard. Hopefully it makes a contribution to solving the challenge. So I believe that external relationships for the College of Engineering is very important. We have academies, there is a Dean's Advisory Council, there is industry, there are agencies, and there are a lot of things College of Engineering, we still have to do, we have goals of raising funds, and we're, I don't know, about 60–70% of the way there. Haven't quite gotten there. So there's still quite a bit of work to do, and a lot of that work is on the outside, working with the alums, working with the industries. We need more scholarships in this college. Scholarships are healthy, but we need more, and it's going to take development to get those. If you look at the statistics for withdrawal from NMSU, not universities in general, specifically to NMSU, first generation underrepresented minority have a 10% higher chance of leaving than other traditional freshmen. And finances is one of the issues. It takes money to go to school. Yes, we have lottery scholarship. You have to qualify. You have to come in and you have to do well. That is one of the things that I think is one of the strongest accomplishments for the integrated learning communities in the College of Engineering today. The grade point average of these students is above a 2.5. So that means that the majority of them are qualifying and keeping their lottery scholarship. But that's not enough. Have to live somewhere. They drive cars. They need to buy books. There's a lot of things that they need that lottery scholarship doesn't pay for. And if they don't have that resource, then they're not going to stay with us. They're going to go home. And then there's professorships, endowed chairs, and so forth. We have to continue down the path that we've been on. There's been a significant increase in the number of chair professorships, endowed professorships, and we need to continue down that path. That is important for the college. We are a good 10 to 15% behind in terms of salary compensation compared to our peers. Okay? And so we're somewhat dependent on the state legislature, but it's those endowed professorships that do make a difference. Naming of colleges, or departments rather. We have one department, Patricia, that's named for a donor.